Hello amazing artists, this is Mr. D, and for this video I'm going to show you how to make a nature person. So some things that you will need for this video: you'll need a piece of paper, you'll need some objects from nature, and then it's up to you whether you use glue to glue those objects down or not. You can either choose to glue them down, or you can just lay them down, take a picture of it, and then print out a picture. I'm going to choose not to glue them down, but you can try to glue them down if you would like. Now the objects from nature that you'll need, you first need to get an adult's permission or have an adult take you outside and collect some things from nature. So I've got things like leaves, sticks, little bits of rock. You can get flowers, you can get anything that you find outside to create your nature person with, okay? And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about texture. Now there's two types of texture, and texture is just a word for how something feels. So there are two types of texture, and the two types of texture are real texture and implied texture. Now we're not going to deal with implied texture today, but implied texture is the way that something looks like it would feel. So for example, if I were to draw some puffy clouds, they would look like they would feel really soft, but they're not actual clouds, so you can't actually touch them and feel that they're soft. It's implied texture, so it looks like it's soft. Real texture is the way that something actually feels. So if I were to rub my hand over this leaf right here, it's got a little bit of grain, but mostly it's smooth, so it's got a smooth texture to it. If I were to rub my hand over this stick, it's really coarse, so it's got a coarse texture to it, okay? So we're going to deal with texture today. So if you need to go out and collect your objects, first get an adult's permission or have an adult go with you, and you can pause this video and then come back to it. If you already have some objects from nature, then you can let the video play and we will go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to create the nature person's head. And so you're going to find an object from nature that you think would be a good head for your nature person. I'm going to use this leaf right here. And again, this is the leaf that I used just a minute ago, but if I rub my hand over it, it's got a smooth, just a little grainy texture. And that's the way that it feels. So that's going to be the head to my nature person. Next, I want to come up with a body for the nature person. So if you're still trying to come up with your head, you can pause the video, but if you're ready for the body, go ahead and look through your objects from nature and find one that you think would be a good fit for the nature person's body. I think that this stick right here is going to be a good fit. So again, if I rub my finger along the stick, it's a really coarse matter, it's grainy, it's rough, and that's the texture to the stick. So that's my head, that's my body. Now we're going to come up with the arms for our nature person. So for my nature person, I think I'm going to use these leaves right here. They're a different kind of leaf than I used for my head, but I'm going to use them for the arms. So I'm just going to stick one right there and one right there. And again, it's the same texture as this leaf. It's smooth, just a little bit of grain, so mostly a smooth texture. So now I've just got to come up with my feet. And remember, if at any point you're still trying to figure out what would be a good fit for your body or for your arms, you can pause the video and then come back to it and start it again when you're ready, okay? So for my feet, I think I'm going to use these leaves right here. They're the same leaves that I used for my arms. So they're going to have the same type of smooth texture. So there are the legs to my nature person. So the only thing left that I need to do is add a face for my nature person. So I'm going to start with the eyes. Now for the eyes, I think that I'm going to use these little rocks right here. So I'm going to place them where I'd like my eyes to go. One right there, and one, if it will stay, right there. So I've got my two eyes for my nature person right there. Then I'm going to give him some eyebrows. So I'm going to take one little stick. Oh, and the texture to the rock is really rough, right? It's really rough and coarse. So I'm going to take my eyebrows, which are just sticks like this, and I'm going to place them right above my eyes. And again, they're really rough and coarse, so they've got a rough texture. Then I'm going to take my little flower thing right here for the mouth. I curved it just a little bit, and that's going to be my nature person's mouth. And that's got sort of a rough texture to it as well. So there is my complete nature person made up of objects from nature. They've either got a smooth feel to it like the leaves, so they've got a smooth texture, or a rough texture like the sticks, the rocks, and the little flower. Okay? So what you can do now is you can either take a picture of your nature person and print out the picture to have, or you can try to glue your nature person down. Okay? So I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and goodbye.